What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to be unboxing and building the Blokees Transformers Defender version 2. They call it the Overthrow. So this is the second version of these smaller Blokees figures. We did take a look at the first one. We got a couple of Constructicons. We get a few more Constructicons this time. And there's a little secret with this set. You also get some coins here. So you get one of those three as a commemorative coin. It's a plastic coin, just FYI. This was sent to me by Blokees. Thanks for allowing me to take a look at this. I'm actually interested in this anyways. I've been putting these figures with my Unicron because they're sized right, so it works for me. But here's the figures you get with this set. You get, by default, Ultra Magnus, Wheeljack, Bumblebee, and then Inferno, Inferno's alt mode, Bumblebee's alt mode. And then on the Decepticon side, we get Starscream, Bonecrusher, a golden version of Soundwave, a shattered glass version of Ironhide, and then alt modes for Bonecrusher and an alt mode for Hook. And Hook isn't in here, so I'm assuming Hook is coming soon. Now, the chase figures for this are a Coronation Starscream or a Bumblebee with some extra armor and weapons. So we'll see what we get. Usually they send me a special edition, but we'll see. Let's get it open. I am going to be building these, but I do want to see what we got first. So as we open them, I'll build them, and then we'll see what special version we got. Oh, and you also get, here's how it comes, you get 12 in each box. You also get these little cards, and that's pretty cool. I think I got a collector version of this one. So there's a bunch of different cards you can get. I'm trying to see if the package shows it. It doesn't, but this one looks like a special card here. So Coronation Starscream. It's got this metallic look to it. And let's get these out of here and let's take a look. And I'm going to do it blind box style just so you can see what each one is. After I get it open and I figure out, which character it is, then we'll just go ahead and build it. Alright, and they've been doing it in such a way that the instructions and the box already tell you what character it is. So here we got Bonecrusher. And the instructions are specific to the character now. They used to do them one generic instructions. Now they're specific to that character. So I guess they do know what one is in the box, but set that aside, get the collector's card, and they all come in a bag. I mean, all the parts are in one bag now. And I'll just show you this first one, and then the rest of these will build separately. But here you go. So let's get them built. And we'll do this in the fast forward like we've been doing. So you can avoid having to watch me fumble with this. All right. Next, we've got Bumblebee alt mode. All right, next up we have, I've been opening them before I show you, but Inferno. All right, next up we have Shattered Glass Bumblebee. Alright, next up, let's take a look. We have a Wheeljack. Alright, next we will have Hook Vehicle Mode. Alright, now we'll take a look at Starscream. Alright, next up, let's see. We've got Bonecrusher in alt mode, so let's get this one built. Alright, next we've got Golden Lagoon Soundwave. Alright, next up we have Inferno in vehicle mode. Alright, next up we've got Ironhide, Shattered Glass Ironhide. Alright, and we're down to our last figure here. So we got Ultra Magnus. Alright, now let's take a look at each of these figures individually, and I'll cover the articulation on this first one. I decided to put a little background there just so you can see because it's such a white figure, but really nice details. You got teal for the head crest and the face mask. You got red for the eyes, blue for the chest and the fog lights. Autobot symbol there. A little bit of silver paint here on the grills for the legs. Nice big gun. Oversized gun really for him. I'm going to go over the articulation just on this figure and then the rest we'll skip. So head's on a ball joint, goes down to there, up to there. Rotates around, and you get a little bit of side to side out of that as well. They are, a little bit chibi, meaning they have bigger heads and then smaller chest and waist. Shoulders are on a ball joint, so it rotates around, out to the side. He has smokestacks out here. The elbows are on a ball joint, so you can rotate there. You can also bend at the elbow, 90 degrees. The hands are also on a ball joint. That can rotate. To the waist, you have a rotation here. Legs kick up to there, back to there, out to the side. We have a rotation at the thigh on that ball joint, and then a rotation at the knee on the peg. It's on a ball joint, so you get it bent 90 degrees, and you can rotate at that. Feet can tilt both directions, forward and backward, and you can rotate the foot. Really well articulated, these little guys. Probably one of the most articulated small figures at this scale, and they're really doing a good job with these. Here's the back. There is a port there. If you want, you can unplug the gun from the hand, and you can store weapons or whatever on there. You can also interchange parts between them if you have different parts. So that's pretty cool. And let's bring in some figures for comparison. Here's the Optimus from the first wave. Obviously the same mold. This is the chase figure, so he comes with the wing parts and this giant gun, but same mold. And then here is the larger Galaxy version of Ultra Magnus. You can see the paint scheme is pretty much the same. They've kept it the same. The only thing is it doesn't come with this really cool axe. Would have been nice if they had that, but it does come with the same gun, all the same parts. Obviously different proportions on these little guys, but it does look cool. All right, next let's take a look at Inferno, and we get him in both vehicle and robot mode. Robot mode, same articulation as the figure I just showed you, but we do have this ladder on the back. It doesn't bend like it did on the bigger version. It doesn't like rotate up and down, but it does look decent. Nice tampo paint on the chest and the waist, blue for the eyes. It does come with a gun. You can actually borrow this nozzle, but just want to show you this ladder can go up and down, and you can rotate the nozzle. But if you take this off, pop off his hand here, and the hand is a little bit tight. Whoops, and that went flying, but got it. You can pop the nozzle on here, and now he's got his nozzle arm, which I think makes more sense. You can rotate the head, the total block of the head, so this just kind of rotates with it, but I think that looks a little bit better. So you have that option there. The wheels do roll on this. The vehicle looks really good. Painted or tampoed windshield, silver for the grille and the bumper. Lots of details on the side here. That looks good. Here's the back. So yeah, there they are. And let's bring in the larger Inferno. And again, the details are pretty much the same between the large one and the small one. All right, next we'll take a look at Bumblebee. And we did get the chase one for this figure. This is the Shattered Glass Bumblebee, or I thought he was called Bug Bite, but I might have had that wrong. On his card, character card, it says Shattered Glass Bumblebee. So, there you go. And we do get the fully yellow car version this time. We got the clear one on set 1. It is kind of more like a race car version of Bumblebee. It doesn't really look like a Beetle. So I don't know if maybe they couldn't get the license from Volkswagen. So it's more of like an evergreen design, just generic. It does have the cel-shaded window, the stripe down the side, stripes down the middle. We got the black. You do have this posable gun. You can take it off if you don't want it, but it looks a little strange without it. So it does roll on the wheels. And here is Shattered Glass Bumblebee. He's got metallic red eyes, silver all throughout the body, a little bit of purple here on the chest. Purple for the Autobot logo. Here's the back. And his gun is a little different, a little special. This is a special version of the figure, right? So we get a little weathering on the tip of the gun. So that looks really cool. And here's the one we got with the first set. This was the Bumblebee they gave us. It was a gold Bumblebee. So you can see the difference there. And then here is the Bumblebee from the Galaxy version. And again, different proportions, different look, but pretty cool to have a mini version of him. All right, the next two we're going to look at are Wheeljack and Shattered Glass Ironhide. And they look really cool. I'll take a look at this guy first. He does come with this extra shoulder mister, which is different from the other figures, so I'll just show you. It's on a ball joint. It does collide with his head a little bit, but if you put it upwards like this, it works. Really nice head sculpt on this guy. Nice tampo paint on the chest and the legs. Here's the back. Does have, again, a little spot. I'm going to plug in the gun. Overall, a really nice looking version. And then here's the Shattered Glass Ironhide, red eyes, nice painted chest and shins. Looks pretty good. And for comparison, there it is next to the Galaxy version of Wheeljack. See how those look together. And here is the Galaxy version of Ironhide. Alright, next we have Starscream and Soundwave. And Soundwave is done in his Golden Lagoon look here, but let's take a look at each. Starscream has some red eyes, painted cockpit, painted intakes. He does have his wings with the stripe and the Decepticon logo. That looks nice. Same spot on the back there. You can rotate the null rays on this, so you can pose those. And yeah, he looks pretty cool. Soundwave, he does have his shoulder missile here. You can rotate that, and it goes up a little bit and down a little bit. This one, it fits right alongside his head, so it works well. Nice painted chest for the tape deck. fully gold. I imagine we're going to get a regular version in the next one. Usually if they do a gold version, in the very next one you get it. So this one, they're kind of mixing together the different color schemes, the Shattered Glass and the regular and the Golden Lagoon, all into one set. So, and the clear ones as well. So I think they're doing a lot more variation, but here's the back. And they do really look good. And for comparison, there it is next to the Galaxy version of Starscream and the Galaxy version of Soundwave. And this is like a special version because it's got the light up feature, and it came with the little laser beak. Very cool. All right, and last but not least, we get the Bonecrusher in robot and vehicle mode, and then Hook in vehicle mode. We haven't got the robot mode yet for this. And I saved this for last because there's a special feature here. But before we do that, let's just go over each. Here's the robot mode. Nice red eyes, painted chest. Here's the back. He has a little panel here on the back. Does look very much like Bonecrusher. And here's his vehicle mode. This does have a folding cockpit piece here. Silver on the wheels. All this painted detail. You got the caution stripes and little details there. The shovel does go up and down. You have a Decepticon logo right on the front. And this one doesn't have wheels, but you can pretend. And then we have Hook in vehicle mode. He's got a tampoed cockpit there and here. A little bit yellow for the lights. You have a raising boom, goes up and down. And you can slide this in and out. And the hook can rotate back and forth. You can collapse this down if you want. So it sits like that. But then you can't close this. So it does roll on the wheels. There's 3 sets of wheels. It looks good. And just to show you, here is the Scavenger from the first set, as well as Scrapper from the first set. So we've got not quite a complete set. We've got 2 of the robot modes, and we've got 3 of the vehicles. But I want to show you that we can actually combine this in a way, and it's not in the instructions, it's not written anywhere, it's really just kind of a mystery thing, that almost like a fan thing. Now they did tease it in the promo images, so I'm just going to move this guy out of the way, and actually we can move this guy out of the way, and you really need these 3 vehicles and one of the robots to do it. Now we can't build a full version of Devastator, but we can kind of partially build it. I'm going to take the arms, pop out the lower arms along with its along with the elbow joint. And same on this side, pop out the elbows along with the elbow joint. And then we can take this apart. So pop off the head, pop off the chest, separate the chest, and you need these 2 pieces here. And we can kind of set this aside. We don't need this right now. And you can also set this aside. Don't need that. And we're going to use this head. It's not really a Devastator head, but we're going to just make it work. All right, so we've got little joints here. So there's a peg for a ball joint. So you will need these. So if you've bought any sets of the Galaxy version, you will end up with extra of these peg pieces. We need that to combine this. So go ahead and take this guy and rotate this back, fold this up, and just let that sit like that. So that's the front of the chest. Take one of these, stick those in on each side, and that is the peg port for the arms. And again, I'm not sure if they're planning to give us parts or not, but this is the best I could do for now. All right, go ahead and take this. We're going to plug in the arm. Same for this side. We're going to take this guy, and he's got another port right there. So plug that in, and then take the arm, Plug that in, and you can grab a better gun from a different character, but I'm just going to leave that for now. And then you're going to need another peg for this head. So altogether you're going to need 3 pegs. We'll get that plugged in right here. And then you can take whichever head you want. I'm going to take this Bonecrusher head and plug it in there. And then this last piece, you do kind of need extra parts. So you need one of these. And again, if you've put together any of these sets, you should have at least one extra of these. But that's going to plug in there. So get that plugged in. Get this. Plugged in there. And then get this around that. And this should peg together and kind of make up his torso. And there is half of a Devastator. It's pretty cool. I'm assuming they're going to give us more, quote, extra parts with some of the later sets. And I'm not sure why they're not advertising it. I think they said they wanted to just be a fan-discovered thing, kind of like a secret mode. So I'm okay with it. You know, I think it's cool. But it's pretty neat. I mean, I can't wait to see what the finished product's going to look like. This is obviously not the finished product. It's not the right head. It's not the right chest. Arms are pretty close, I think, but the rest is not quite right. So there you go. So final recommendations on the Blokees Transformers Defender version 2. These are really cool. I recommend them. They are fun in their individual modes. And I like that they're including the vehicles so you can have them kind of side by side. But of course the star of the show is definitely the Devastator. I love that they're headed this direction where you can take the larger Galaxy version parts and combine them with the smaller Defender to make up these combiners. It hasn't been officially advertised. I'm not sure if they're planning to do it. It'd be nice if we get official instructions, but that is very promising for overall, just for Blokees in general. And just a fun added bonus for fans of this. Now, one thing I wanted to mention is I do recommend this for display with like Titans or with Unicron, HasLab Unicron. And I wanted to show you, it does actually fit well with Dr. Wu figures. So here's a Dr. Wu. It's the Magnificus. And he kind of fits pretty well in there. And then here's the Dr. Wu Ultra Magnus, or the Cab, the Optimus Prime. And again, these fit really well with this set, so you can kind of mix and match them. And the price point on these is cheaper, way cheaper than the Dr. Wu, because you get a set of 9 for the price of 1. So really a nice setup here to go with Titans. But that's really it for today. I'm excited to see what they do with these combiners. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Blokees for sending these for review, and we'll see you next time.